Today I'm making vanilla creams. This is an authentic Amish recipe, as in it came from real Amish and was given to me by a real Amish lady who made wonderful, wonderful food. But this is one of her best recipes, and it was vanilla creams. And I'm going to try to mix it the way she did. And we're going to cream a 1/2 cup butter and 1 cup sugar together. Now you can see without electric mixer, this is not a fast job. And since the butter is softened, it should be easier in this, and I am out of practice. However, it is mixing. We only need to cream it enough that when we add the next ingredients, we're not going to have a bunch of clumps. So it does not have to be perfectly smooth at this point, and you can see the butter wants to stick. That's not unusual and not unexpected. To that, we are going to add 2 eggs and 3 tablespoons cream. And if this was on the farm, we'd get the eggs and cream fresh from our livestock. However, I had to go to Food Lion for my fresh eggs and cream. And of course, we mix that all together. And you'll notice when you're mixing and it gets a little more wet, it won't stick in the beaters as bad. And it has a nice lemony color. If these were farm eggs, true farm eggs, it would be a little bit darker yellow. But we get the point. And we're going to mix that real well. And now we're going to take 2 teaspoons, sorry, don't put tablespoons in, 2 teaspoons vanilla. And we're going to work that in. If you wonder why I didn't put it in at the same time as the eggs and the cream, because I was a little worried that the vanilla would curdle the cream. I don't know that it will. Alright, that's about all we're going to be able to do with the mixer. Let me get a wooden spoon. Okay, we have that all creamed together. The rest has to be done with a wooden spoon because it's going to get a little thicker from here on out. In another bowl, I have 2 3/4 cup flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon salt, and I'm mixing them together a little bit so they're not going to clump. And I'm going to gradually add that into my butter mixture. It's just easier if you don't put it in all at once. And slowly mix it. It also saves you from dusting up the whole kitchen. Now this isn't going to be a super thick dough because you're going to want to drop it onto a cookie sheet so that it spreads a little bit and makes a soft, kind of a sugar cookie. And we will be filling the cookie as well, but that comes later. At this point, I want you to see what the dough looks like when it's mixed. I don't want to set a bad example by taking a sample, but at this point, most people do, to make sure the flavors are just right. And of course, they always are, but you still like to sample anyway. Okay, I'm going to call that mixed. All right. In my next step, I will show you how to pan them up on a cookie sheet. Okay, if you have a cookie scoop, this works real well, but you can use a tablespoon. And you're going to try to keep them an even amount of dough on each one because you don't want your cookie sandwiches all lopsided. And of course, I'm using the smaller sheet so it fits in the camera view. But normally I use a full-size cookie sheet. And you can just grease the sheet instead of the parchment. I find parchment is best when you have a cookie that spreads because it helps control the spread so it doesn't go crazy. There you go. I'm going to bake this in the oven, and I'll bring them back and show you what they look like when they're cooling. and then we're going to talk about the filling. Okay, our cookies are ready, and they're going to have to cool a little bit before we handle them, but I wanted to show you what they look like fresh out of the oven. They will be a little more puffy than they are when they cool. However, you don't want them very brown, just brown enough and done, because if you get them too overbaked, they'll be tough and they won't be good. Anyway, we're going to let them cool, and I will come back and show you the filling. This was about 12 minutes at a 350 degree oven. Here's our cooled cookies. Now these will make more than this, of course, but I just made a small amount to show you. Now if you want to know what's in the filling, see how creamy and beautiful that is? That is a half stick of butter, so that's 4 tablespoons butter, 2 cups powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla, and just enough cream added to make it spreadable. I can't tell you an exact amount of cream. It probably was a tablespoon or a little bit more, because powdered sugar can do all kinds of things. So only add a few drops at a time if you're doing this until you get about like that consistency. Thick pudding or icing. It essentially is a buttercream. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take one of the cookies and we're going to spread that on. You don't want it super thick, because when you put the cookies together and take a bite, it's going to scoosh everywhere. We don't want that. Unless you're me, who makes a mess on everything. Alright, see? Ain't that pretty? And we're going to put it there. And we're just going to keep doing that until we have our cookies all done. I've got some more of them in the oven baking. I'm sure I'll have no trouble dispensing them. I'm just going to do these cookies here for the example. There you have it. If you try the vanilla creams and you want to leave a comment below and tell me what you did differently or did the same and got different results, let me know. I'd like to know. Anyway, they always bake consistent for me. Sometimes they're a little less crinkled. That's due to how soft the butter is. Sometimes my room temperature today is a little warmer than usual, so the butter sometimes causes that to happen. They taste the same. They're really good. Have a good day, and thank you for stopping by.